Hey guys, and welcome back. Pee-wee's barking at me. So today I wanted to touch on a very serious topic that's kind of near and dear to me in my heart. And that is the ugly truth about money and trying to save money, guys. So everybody knows that we all tend to have a plan, but they don't always work, right? So something will always go wrong. So you want to plan for the worst and expect, a greater outcome. That's kind of been my motto, is because when you plan for a disaster or deviation, you can still stick to the plan of savings or whatever your budget plan really is. So the outcome of your hard work, guys, is really worth it. Remember that if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? Just like college. If college was easy, everybody go to college, right? And everybody be having degrees. But it's just not that simple. So on your savings plan or your budget plan, always remember to reward yourself when you hit certain levels, even if it's just the smallest level. Say you have a debt that's just $120 medical bill. Reward yourself for that little debt, because you know what? It is really hard when you're only making, say, $30,000 a year, and part of that is rent. So 40 or 50% of that is going to be rent, groceries, utilities, and it may be even higher in some places. So always remember to reward yourself the little steps, but don't go overboard. Don't make a disaster into just a complete hurricane. So stay within your limits, but reward yourself for the little things. And always remember, guys, you're not a failure. It takes time and discipline to learn to save money. And if you haven't been taught, it's really hard to teach yourself. I mean, you can read as many books as you want to, but it doesn't always work. And life happens. There's always something that is going to try and bring you right back down to where you were. So remember, you're not a failure. So start with the little debts first. So this will ensure your success. And I don't care. A lot of people say tackle the highest interest rate first. Don't worry about the highest interest rate. Go for the smaller ones, because if you start high, you'll end up setting yourself up for huge failure. Because if you have a $6,000 debt as compared to, say, a $500 or a $300 debt, why wouldn't you tackle the smallest ones first? Because what that will do is set the snowball in motion. Instead of starting from the top down, I like to start from the bottom up, because those small successes will keep your momentum going. So habits take at least 21 days to develop. So if you go off track for a week or something, don't worry about it. Get right back on track. Remember, bad habits don't end quickly, and it's really hard to stay on track. But the little successes will ensure your expectations. You're not setting yourself up for failure. So, and remember, don't listen to negative people. If they say, "Oh, well, that's just stupid. Everybody has debt," or whatever. "Oh, you're never gonna pay it off," or whatever. Remember, surround yourself with positive and like-minded people, right? And those who can support you and your goals as well. So if you have to find a financial group, or even if you have a friend that, wants to do a debt challenge like you, surround yourself with those people, because it's those people that are going to lift you up, and you can have somebody to talk to. And it's a common problem that people just close their eyes to it, and they try to stick it in the closet. Guys, it doesn't work that way. So try a savings challenge with friends and family. Try not to go it alone if you can, but if you are on your own, you definitely want to listen to positive financial advice. So remember, also, put your plans on paper, guys. so you can follow your progress. So examples would be like charts, or you know how like when people raise money, they do a boot and they slowly fill that boot up. If you have to do something like that so that you can visually see it to ensure your success, go for it. Remember, no idea is stupid when you're trying to change your life for the better. So another thing that I like to do is read success stories. There's all kinds of books out there on positive thought, positive changes that you can make for your life too. And remember, your biggest asset is your income. It's your freedom. It's your power to stability. So changing the way we think about money, even if you've never saved a dime in your life and always spent everything you've ever earned, you live paycheck to paycheck. Remember, even if you're saving $5, you put it in a jar, put it in the back of your closet, $20, whatever it is. If you're saving 50 cents, if you're saving your change from when you go to the gas station or whatever, put it in a jar, save it up for, say, do six months increments at a time, cash that money in, put it back in the jar, and keep doing that. It will teach you to save small increments at a time, and it will get you to think long term for the bigger picture. So in our society today, everybody knows that every American, the American dream, is spend. We are consumer mind driven. Every commercial is, oh, you need this, you want this, you need it, you have to have it. No, we don't, guys. So changing your thinking from a disposable society to a more conservative society is really hard. When you see all these things, commercials, jewelry, electronics, people think they have to have the best of the best. No, we don't, guys. Even if your kids are competing in a world where it's all about labels, guys, if you teach your children young that what really matters is family, friends, love, the security, we don't need labels. We don't need labels in our society. So if you're putting Nikes on your 1-year-old and you have $12 in the bank, does that 1-year-old really even know that they're wearing Nikes? Do you really care? Do they care? No. Your baby's still cute. You don't need to put Nikes on them or Adidas or whatever. Go to Walmart, because in a month they're not going to be able to wear them anyway, right? So you need to think on security. How much is it worth to you guys? Is it worth being in debt for the rest of your life? So it really got me thinking, if I could go back and talk to my very inexperienced young self, my life, I know that the outcome would be completely different. So let me give you a little backstory on growing up. So when we grew up Mennonite, which is a branch off of Amish. So very quiet, very mysterious group, very closed subjected. We didn't talk about really anything financial or anything. My parents never spoke about anything that was serious around their children. That's just the way they did it. And they never encouraged saving money for a rainy day or to be secure. Never spoke about the dangers of credit cards or even living above your means. Nothing like that. We always, it was always about the church and the community, but nobody really talked about serious subjects. It was always very lighthearted. People were building a barn, everybody would go over there, we'd help them out. You work all day and then share a meal and work all into the night. So my only message that I ever learned was to work hard and never be lazy. So they said, lazy people, that's shaming God. And so we farmed and we did chores, and we were good. We're out of sight, out of mind. You were seen and not heard back in those days. And that runs true. My mom was the same way. And, you did what you were told, and that was it. So growing up, even in my early teens, money still was never talked about. I had a babysitting job where I earned, I think it was like $40 on a Friday night, and into I'd work probably like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. until they got home like around midnight, because they would always have this big shopping haul and they'd go. So I would babysit and earn $40. But even then, my parents never spoke to me or my siblings about the importance of saving for a rainy day. It just wasn't talked about. So just because you didn't talk about it doesn't mean that there aren't things that you notice. So my earliest negative memory was around 1978, when my parents lost our family farm and the truck. So my parents had to file for bankruptcy, come to find out many years after that, when we were older. But even then, they didn't even explain to us what happened. We simply moved into town and life went on. That was it. You didn't really talk about it. And in those days, you weren't really allowed to ask questions. So now, looking back and remembering having a savings account, but I don't ever remember what happened to it. I don't know what happened to the money. So I had one at one time. I remember having one, but so that was my only memory of really having a savings account. So now, looking back, I read every financial magazine that I can get my hands on, every advice column about money. I want to know other people's ideas, how they make it work, how it works for them, the flaws, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, so that I can compile my own judgment and see and really find out what works for me. I usually take bits and pieces of what people say, and I mold it into more of a financial plan for myself. So that brings us to, yes, I have made a million mistakes with money. A million, I'm sure. But I've bought what I didn't need, I spent what I didn't have, and quickly learned that, I'm in trouble. So gotten into debt a few times, gotten out of debt a few times. So for sure, there will never be a third time. This is my last debt hurrah. So we know that debt keeps our hopes and our dreams unreachable. We know that, right? Money is your biggest asset, guys. It is your power, your security. What does money mean for you? You just buy whatever you want and then think about a rainy day later? Sometimes, So if someone had explained all of this to me years when I first started earning money, before I was even out on my own, I know that my life would be different. But as we know, living in the past really gets us nowhere. But it's definitely time to look forward, guys, to brighter and better days. So not having to worry about how you're going to pay the bills from week to week, guys. It's crazy, but it's something I can't explain. Like, the stress of living paycheck to paycheck, it shortens your life. It gives you high blood pressure, just the insecurity, the sleepless nights, the restless nights. You're grinding your teeth and your jaws hurt and trying to figure out how this money thing all works. But when you have no money, you are existing. Your American dream has been squashed. I'm not saying that you can't come out of it. And yeah, we get ourselves into trouble, but knowing how to get yourself out of trouble, that is really the message here. So as the saying goes, you can teach an old dog new tricks, guys. There are so many helpful, hitful ways of how you can get a grasp on your money. And even if you have little children, it's time is now when they're little to teach them the most important things about money, not when they're a teenager and they're just, they have a job and they're blowing every single dime because they learned it from you, right? So, oh my gosh. All of this, I mean, it's just crap, guys. We know that we can change. It takes 21 days to make a habit, and it takes 61 days or longer to break a habit. So, I mean, choose your battles, guys. You want to get out of debt. You want to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Money is your tool, guys. It's your strength. So, your security, safety, that's really what it's all about. So teaching yourself to save money, it is hard, guys. I'm not going to say that it's not. It's even hard for me. And I've been doing this, in debt, out of debt. But, now I know that it's a pattern and I need to break it. So like I said before, if it was easy, everybody would have money. It's not. So for every purchase, think about whether you need it or you really want it, right? I know you say, yeah, I've heard that before. So exactly. So you know it, but you choose to ignore it. So we have so many tools at our fingertips, yet Americans are at least $30,000 in debt. This is national average, guys. So I don't know about you, but being stressed out about money to the point where you're losing sleep and you're physically feeling ill, it's not worth it anymore. So if you have ever had a significant amount of money in your bank account and you remember how great it felt, even if it was just $500 extra, and you could go out and, you could go to eat and you could buy your little, nail polishes or whatever it is, right? It felt so good. So times that by 10 or 20, how good that would feel, to pay 3 months bills in advance, right? To have that money in your bank account and have that security of feeling so awesome. Man, that alone should make you open your eyes and really want to change. So, I mean, it's crazy, right? So it was for me to remember millions and millions of people before me who learned very hard lessons in life about money. So it's really just your change, but remember to start slow. Start by writing down all your debt. Write it all down. Every little thing, even if it's a $25 bill, write them all down so that you can see them, I mean, every single one. So there's no sense in lying to yourself anymore. So get real about the truth about your money and your debt. So, and it's not going to go away. So you might as well face it head on. And that's what I did. So I wrote everything down and I was like, man, what the heck? And you don't see it, that lump sum. You see that $50 payment, that $100 payment here, there, where your money's going out. But when you add it up in a big chunk of what you really owe, it's a lot of money. So start by trying to pay off the smallest ones first. So this will really pump you up, guys. Give you that boost to tackle the bigger ones. Remember to celebrate the small the small victories. And don't go overboard. Just remember, start slow. Do it. Keep in mind that there are other people that seek the knowledge and the camaraderie of people just like you. There are more people like us that want to get out of debt, that really we're tired of being ashamed, we're tired of not having any money. That really is the drive. So I just wanted to go over all that today. It's been really kind of weighing on my mind about how you know, it's kind of an eye opener. And if you were never taught, it is such a struggle, guys. And one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't have anybody to talk to me about money, about, you know, not getting credit cards, saving a certain percentage of everything that you earned. My life would be way different, but it's not. And I'm here to share it all with you guys. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Definitely reach out to me if you have any questions. If you guys need any information that I'm talking about, Dave Ramsey's The Debt Snowball. It works. I'm doing it in reverse. He says tackle the big ones first, but I definitely don't see beating yourself up. So start at the bottom, start slow, start little. Even if you're saving $5 a week, guys, it's a win-win for you. And remember, don't beat yourself up. There are millions and millions of people that were here before you, and I just want to leave you with that. And you guys have an awesome week and a happy Thanksgiving. It's in 2 days, so we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. And if you're new here, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. It really helps out, and we'll talk you on the next one. Thanks, guys.